We all love a good mystery, don't we? The thrill of the unknown, the tantalizing possibility of uncovering something truly extraordinary. But sometimes what we uncover isn't extraordinary in a good way. Sometimes it's something that scratches at the edges of reality, something that makes you question everything you thought you knew. And for Mark, a quiet man from a small town, a simple purchase at a forgotten auction would plunge him into a nightmare he could never have imagined. Mark wasn't a thrill seeker. He wasn't looking for ancient artifacts or cursed relics. He was an antique dealer, a man who found joy in restoring forgotten pieces of history. So when he saw it, tucked away in the back of a dilapidated auction house, covered in grime and ignored by everyone else, he barely gave it a second glance. It was an old safe, the kind you see in black and white movies, heavy and unyielding, rusted shut. The auctioneer, clearly eager to get rid of it, practically begged for a bid. Going once, going twice, a real steal, folks. Who wants a project? Mark, more out of pity than genuine interest, raised his hand. $50. That's all it took. $50 for a silent, locked box that would soon shatter his world. He loaded it into his old pickup truck, the heavy steel groaning against the suspension, a faint metallic clang echoing in the otherwise silent afternoon. He had no idea the secrets it held, no idea the terror it would unleash. Back in his workshop, Mark spent days trying to crack it open. He tried every trick in the book, every safe-cracking technique he knew. But this safe was stubborn. It held its secrets tightly. He almost gave up, almost decided to just sell it for scrap metal. But something, a nagging curiosity, kept him going. And then, late one night, after hours of painstaking work, he heard it. A faint click. A whisper of movement. The heavy steel door creaked open, revealing not treasure, not jewels, but darkness. And a smell. A smell so foul, so utterly putrid, it hit him like a physical blow. It was the smell of decay, yes, but something else too. Something metallic and sweet, like old blood mixed with formaldehyde. He stumbled backward, coughing, his stomach churning. He grabbed a flashlight, his hand trembling, and shined it into the inky blackness. What he saw made his blood run cold. It wasn't human remains, not in the way you'd expect. It was a jumble of things, all wrapped in decaying, oil-stained fabric. And amidst the fabric, glinting dully in the flashlight beam, were fragments of bone. Small bones, too small for an animal he recognized. And a sound. A faint, almost imperceptible, dry rustle, as if something inside shifted, even after all these years. Mark didn't know what to do. He called the police, his voice barely a whisper. He tried to explain, to articulate the unspeakable horror he'd just witnessed. They arrived quickly, 2 patrol cars, their lights painting the night in an eerie dance of red and blue. The officers, initially skeptical, quickly changed their demeanor once they approached the safe. The smell alone was enough. What followed was a blur of police tape, forensic teams, and endless questions. They took the safe, sealed it in a specialized container, and vanished into the night. Mark was left alone, in his workshop, the stench still clinging to the air, clinging to his clothes, to his very soul. He tried to sleep, but every shadow seemed to contort into grotesque shapes. Every creak of the house sounded like the dry rustle from within the safe. The next few days were a torment. He waited for answers, for explanations, but none came. The police were tight-lipped, issuing only a brief statement about an ongoing investigation and unidentified biological matter. The local news hinted at something far stranger than a simple crime, but no details emerged. Mark tried to research, tried to find similar cases, but every search led to dead ends, to vague conspiracy theories, to silence. He started noticing things. A car parked down the street, always there, always empty. The phone would ring, and when he answered, only static. He dismissed it as paranoia, a consequence of the trauma. Until one day, an unmarked envelope arrived. Inside, a faded, sepia-toned photograph of a decaying, abandoned asylum. And scrawled on the back in an unnervingly elegant hand, a single, chilling message. Prosody pitch low, rate slow. You opened it. Now they know. Mark felt a cold dread seep into his bones. Who were they, and what did they know? The police never told him what was inside the safe. They never revealed the true nature of the unidentified biological matter. But Mark knew. He knew that whatever it wasn't human. And he knew, with a certainty that chilled him to his core, that by opening that safe, he hadn't just uncovered a secret. He'd unleashed something. Something ancient, something dark, and something that was now coming for him. Mark never fully recovered. He became a shadow of his former self, constantly looking over his shoulder, forever haunted by the smell, the sounds, and the chilling knowledge that he had disturbed something truly unspeakable. And as for the contents of the safe, the authorities remain silent. But sometimes, in the dead of night, when the wind howls just right, prosody pitch low, rate slow, you can almost hear it. That faint, dry rustle, as if something, somewhere, is finally free.